If you want to break into the comic industry, stick around and I'll give you my practical advice for breaking into the comic industry. Hi, I'm Drew, an independent comic artist and CEO of Okidoki Comics. I'm an artist just like you. I've been making things all of my life, and one of those things is comics. I wear a lot of hats when it comes to making my comic and running my business, and I want to give you guys some proven advice for breaking into the comic industry. First thing I want to talk to you about is that you have to have passion for making comics. If you don't have passion for making comics, you're probably gonna peter out through halfway through your journey. Me personally, I live and breathe comics. As you can see on my wall, those are some of my gems. As you can see on this part of the wall, this is my own character. I have a bunch of comics in my own collection. This is My Hero Academia. I love this series. You have to have passion when it comes to making comics. Otherwise, why are you doing it, right? When it comes to making comics, my passion and something that I love to do is just remember how it was when, I woke up early Saturday mornings and some cool cartoon was on. At the time when I was growing up, I was watching WB for Kids. This is probably going to date me a little bit, but I was watching WB for Kids. And the shows that I watched on there included One Piece, Winx Club, and a myriad of others. It drew me closer to wanting to draw as a kid. And I've been drawing since I was in preschool. I was the kid that was, always got his work done fast just so he could draw in class. You also have to ask yourself, why are you creating this comic in the first place? Me personally, I'm creating my comic to inspire, be an advocate for others and others that don't look like me, others that I don't have the same physical limitations. I can't speak for all those things, but with my comic, I would like to say that I see you guys and I want to be an advocate. Other things I love to connect with are just the feeling of when I'm reading manga, just because I want to see where the story's going, right? You got to have passion. You got to make your comic fun. You got to make your comic, all these different things. And you have to always, of course, just tune into that little kid version of yourself. Just have fun with it. I put so much pressure on myself when it comes to even making this comic. And then I just have to sit back and just say, for why, for who, you know, I'm an independent comic creator, sure. And you should be making your story for you. Another piece of advice I want to give you, finding where you fit into the zeitgeist of the comic industry. Are you a writer? Are you an artist? There's a lot more that goes into making comics than just being a writer or an artist. If you are an artist, did you know that in the industry you have things like a penciler? So that's the person who does all the sketch work and gets all the layout done. You have the inker, which is the person that goes through and throws all of the ink on the page. And then you also have the colorist, and that person, of course, makes the art pop with their interpretation of color theory. Those are three different avenues that artists can shoot for when they want to break into the comic industry. An artist, you have to choose which one of those three you want to do. And not only those three, those are just the big three. Those are the three that actually work inside of the comic. Those are the people that actually work on the interiors of the comic. You also have artists who mainly just do cover art, who mainly just do covers. That's another way you can break into the comic industry. It's just by making awesome and rad covers for people so people can love an alternate cover or just the cover of the comic itself. The comic industry, unfortunately, is one of those industries where you do judge a book by its cover. And if you're a writer, well, if you're a writer, then of course you can be lead writer on a story, you can be the assistant writer on the story, you can be the editor, you can also get into the lettering part of the comic industry because that in itself is also another job. And a lot of people also don't know that when they go into comics. They just think the artists do that, but no, that is a whole occupation by itself. Not only that, but there are graphic designers who also make art for the comic. And you have, of course, your publishers, your distributors, and all of the legal mumbo jumbo. my experience. So again, I am an independent comic creator. I personally am getting my business off of the ground. So right now, I don't have the money to pay out everyone right now that I would like to hire, but hopefully that day will soon be coming. So in the meantime, I have to wear a lot of hats. So I am my own sketch artist, I'm my own inker, colorist, graphic designer, letterer, printer, and publisher. 7 different jobs that I have currently working on all of this. And honestly, it is a very big task. But if you have passion for this, it's all about how far you want to take it. And me personally, this is just the path I want to take. And I hope you guys join me along for that journey. So, with that being said, if you haven't, please hit that subscribe button down below. Please leave a like and leave a comment. Tell me what your favorite comic is, or your favorite manga is, or if you don't watch, or if you don't read any comic or manga, tell me what your favorite anime or the favorite show that got you into, let's say, things like animation. So leave a comment down below. Okay, the third thing I got for you is that you have to start seeking out community. I'm going to take like a little bit of time to plug my comic. The Indomitable Leo brand is now on sale at dokidokicomics.com. If you want to help me or support me in creating this comic and keeping it going, head over there, buy your copy. I fail hardly at this sometimes, but I'm getting better and I have gotten better. You got to find community. You can't just hoard all of your art and just have nobody to see it. I mean, sure, if you don't want to actually like share your comics, you can hoard all your art all you want. That's totally up to you. But if you do want to be a comic creator, then you have to find your community. You have to find somewhere where other like minds are so that you can be in that space and work towards something greater. There are places in the Oklahoma City region where you can go and speak to other comic creators who are already in the industry, who are starting their journey as well, or who are currently on their journey. It's always good to go out and receive feedback just to see where you personally are when it comes to putting your art out there, when it comes to actually seeing how much you actually have developed, how much you've grown as an artist. Feedback is very important. I would not recommend just creating a comic and not having at least some critiques going forward while you're making your comic. Yes, at the end of the day, it is your project. It is your project. But it's always good to have people around you who can give you an honest opinion. Sometimes friends and family, they'll say it's good because they think it's good, but it takes people like you, people like me, to actually have a critical eye and actually see and look over your artwork to see if it's up to par or if there are some more things you personally need to work out. That's just the process. Okay, the fourth thing I want to talk to you about is, and this one is kind of crucial, and it's kind of the kicker for when it even comes to comic creation. So I want you guys to listen and hear me. Okay, just start. Just start. When I was creating my comic, the Indomitable Leo brand, I had a issue 1 that I had put out. It's up here. I don't know if you can kind of see it, but that's my issue 1 that I had initially put out. It was okay. That's why community is so important. I created my first comic, without community and without feedback. So I had kind of just put it out there. So that comic just ended up becoming my issue 0. It's no longer available. I would appreciate it so much. It's been a long journey, and if you want to support me, just leave a like down on the video. A like goes a long way. And I'm trying to get videos started up again. Uh, so hopefully there will be more videos touching on all the topics that I about the comic industry and illuminating it just so people can start living their comic book fantasies. Along your journey, along the ups and downs, the failures, the frustrations, the long nights staying up, just trying to get this comic out, just trying to succeed in doing this, you know, you'll find your strengths. You'll find what works for you, what doesn't work for you. If you find out that you probably want to dish out some work for other people to do for your comic, that's totally fine. It's whatever you want to do, whatever you have to do to make your comic a reality. Now, I want you to take the pressure off yourself. Your first comic, especially if it's your very, very first comic, will not be up to par like the professionals who have been in this industry for 10, 20, 30 years. So take the pressure off. But start where you are. Meet yourself where you are and continue on forward. What I've experienced is that there are and there will be a lot of frustrations when it comes to this whole comic process. But if you just hold on, just keep looking at the vision, keep going, you'll eventually reach your end destination. Not only that, but also keep in mind that if the end goal is the same, why rush? Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Um, Again, my name is Andrew Cunningham. You can call me Drew. I just released my first issue of the Indomitable Leo brand in August. I currently am on a comic tour where I will be popping up at different vendor events throughout the rest of 2025 and hopefully through the rest of 2026. Issue 2 is on the way. I am currently working on that. The colors are almost done. Currently, in this video where I'm at, I am on page 12 out of 20, so the colors are almost done, and from there, I get my final edits, and then I'll put on the lettering, and then it will probably be ready for print. So issue 2 will be out here soon, so please follow me on Instagram at It's Drusive, the same name as my YouTube name. So please follow me on Instagram at It's Drusive. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching the video, and let's get back to that final topic. Or the final thing I have for you is that you gotta keep reading comics. You always gotta see what's out there, what's fresh, what's new, what's working. Sometimes you have to be a little bit of a trend chaser, but that's just what the comic industry is about. If there's another idea out there that's working, I'm not saying go out there and just rip off somebody's idea, but find out what makes that comic work at its core. Study that, copy that, keep it authentic to you. You'll probably have a awesome comic on your hands. All right, well, that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below. Please leave a like on the video if you did enjoy this video and found it valuable. Please leave a comment on the video. I would love to enjoy your interaction. I read all the comments and try to reply as much as I can. Stay true, be visionary, stay indomitable. I'll see you guys later. Bye.